Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'll be connecting the dots for Tesla. I'll share a few of my thoughts in real time. In my previous video, I talked about foreseeing further market weakness coming our way. If you want to know the full detail, just click on the link on top and down below. My initial thoughts of the market in 2022 was more of a kangaroo market. It is going to be volatile. Interest rates will increase steadily in a more predictable manner. When they increase interest rates, cost of borrowing will increase. Liquidity and debt gets pulled out of the market, slowing down transaction speed, and this will help cool off the prices and inflation. Since I thought that interest rates will increase in a steady and predictable manner, I thought for the first half of the year, there will be mispricing for Tesla. The more volatile Tesla price is, the more premium or money I get when I sell put option. It is definitely trickier to sell put option this year, but if done right, I'll be able to make more money than last year, so long as I calculate my holding power. So fast forward now, things have changed. This view of mine no longer works when Russia decided to invade Ukraine, invading a sovereign nation and trying to remove Ukraine's government. Now this leads to a few things. The world is changing from a single polar world to a multipolar world. A life cycle of the strongest nation typically lasts about 200 years. We have transitioned from Spanish Empire-led world order to Dutch Empire-led world order. Then we transitioned to a British Empire-led world order and now US-led. And in the future, China-led world order. If you want to find out more about why and how a nation become the biggest and eventually falling to their demise, you can check out Ray Dalio's Changing World Order. I'll link it in my description box down below. A multipolar world, each rivalry country with their own sphere of influence and serving their own self-interest is not good for the world. The world is so interconnected that sanctioning or having trade war between two superpower rival countries will wreak havoc in the market. For example, we can see this in 2018 trade war between US and China, causing the market to be very volatile. This is the interest rate over the years for US. Because of debt, war and financial crisis, they have to keep lowering their interest rates and to service this expensive debt. So we can see here ever since 2008, it has been in 0% all the way, and they only managed to go up a little bit to 2.4% at 2019. And then we have COVID crisis, and it's back to 0%. So after that, we will take a look at a chart. Okay guys, let's take a look at history of the stock market. We will use S&P 500 as a benchmark, and we will take a look at how stock market perform when there is a different interest rate environment. So from 2009 to 2014, when we are at near 0% interest rate environment, the stock market actually rallied all the way up to, you see, this area. And when there is an announcement of interest rate hikes, the stock actually go in a way of a kangaroo market. It's up and down, up and down, up and down. From 2015 all the way to 2017, there was almost no growth at all. And then when there is a steady increase in interest rates and there is a clear direction, but it was a very quite slow and linear growth up to 2019 June. And during this period, there was trade war between China and US. The stock market did languish for a while. March 2020, there's COVID. And then the Federal Reserve announced another 0% interest rate environment. And this is when the stock market just rocketed up to this direction. So we are now in March 17, 2022. And the Federal Reserve is in a dilemma. If they were to raise interest rates too quickly, all of their national spending for their infrastructure, their social spending will be used to pay off the debt that they incur for spending $30 trillion for this entirety of their history. If they were to raise interest rates too slowly, then money velocity will be very quick. There are just too much supply of money out there in the market, and there will be too much dollar chasing too few goods and causing all these raw material prices to be inflated because there's too much demand and too little supply. So this will cause hyperinflation, and people in the bottom level of the society will be unhappy, and this will cause civil unrest. So there is no easy way out. The worst is US is facing all this, but there is war going on in resource-rich nations. So usually when interest rates are quite high, I feel that cash is actually king. Initially, what I was going to do was I was planning to sell put option because it was going to be volatile, and I thought that it would be a steady increase in interest rates. So I can make use of the volatility and take a lot of premium. Even though it's trickier, but it's still doable. But now because of the war, it changes everything. There is risk of hyperinflation and commodity prices are going to go up crazily. So now the Fed is just in a dilemma. You either risk hyperinflation or you risk going towards a depression or a recession or stagflation. So today we know the FOMC announced 7 interest rate hikes. And to me, I just see it as Fed playing catch up with inflation. And Jerome Powell said that officials will not shy away from raising rates more aggressively if they don't see improvement. So we are in a very uncertain period. And to me, cash is king now. So I will just put off cash and, and add slowly. I don't have to buy the dips so quickly. My view on Tesla now. I still think Tesla is one of the best and safest investment. I still project revenue growth of at least 65% year on year. Initially, I won't be surprised if revenue exceeds 80% this year. So let's talk about what are the challenges that Tesla is facing right now. We all know that demand of Tesla cars exceeds the supply. So where is the bottleneck or limiting factor for Tesla to produce as much vehicles as possible? So the bottleneck is chips and batteries. Now for chip shortages, Elon said that they are changing the chips, rewriting the codes, and reducing the number of chips they need. And we know that raw material costs has increased because of supply chain shortages, Russia and Ukraine war, especially to nickel prices. Now Tesla is not completely reliant on nickel, as nickel is more energy dense and more expensive. Nickel is for their heavier duty vehicle. Their standard range cars uses lithium iron phosphate or LFP. It is less energy dense but cheaper. Nickel prices could impact price of high performance vehicle like semi and Cybertruck. So there is no immediate solution to this. Tesla have raised prices on their products. We will see how Tesla navigate this. So connecting the dots, there is no demand issue for 2022 even if cost and price increases. The question should be, will batteries and chips be limiting production by a significant margin? Will Austin and Berlin have enough resources, be it human or raw material? Will anything disrupt their speed of ramp? For macro environment, it is asking how rising interest rates will affect valuation. In the long run, where liquidity is pulling back, everyone with slightly less dollars to spend, will this affect demand and adoption of a Tesla car? So this is the mental model I run through, and I think it definitely affects the valuation of Tesla and eventually to the Tesla stock price. How much will this macro environment pay for Tesla as a company? I will do a technical analysis for Tesla in my next video, and I'll share with you why Tesla is a company that is playing the infinite game, so stay tuned. If you guys find this video useful, help me out by liking this video. The best way to support me as of now is to subscribe to my channel. Let's get this channel to 1.5k subs. Thank you and I'll see you tomorrow.